The Mosasaurus has escaped Jurassic World. We know that thanks to the latest Fallen Kingdom teaser trailer, it is now swimming the open waters and has likely made its way over to the Costa Rican mainland where it can feed more openly on other marine life and, well, delicious nutritious humans. But how and when does it escape in the first place? Last we saw the Mosasaurus, it was living in Jurassic World and was probably sustaining itself off the Indominus Rex carcass. Unlike the other creatures in the park that could thrive post-park catastrophe by hunting and feeding, the Mosasaurus was a solitary creature with nothing to hunt. There's a chance of course that there's an automated feeding system set up, similar to the one that we saw in Jurassic Park the game, but even if that's the case, then you'd assume it's not going to last forever without human intervention. The Mosasaurus probably needs to break out if it's going to survive, and logically it needs to happen before the events of Fallen Kingdom. This really does hold true because after the update to the Jurassic World website, which was taken down pretty quickly after, it said that the Mosasaurus was now swimming in open waters because its escape takes place before the main timeline of the upcoming film. This has been a rumour that's been going around for a while with each new image, that the opening scene of Fallen Kingdom is going to take place at Jurassic World and not especially long after the events of that earlier film, and it's that this opening scene that will lead to the Mosasaurus escaping. By now, most of us have seen the clips and merch images that show the Mosasaurus leaping at an overhead helicopter in the middle of the night, with Rexy roaring on in the background, and it's likely that it's this very scene that's going to open the new film, or at least occur early on. Is what we're seeing the members of the DPG staging like a desperate rescue mission for the Mosasaurus even before they know of Mount Sibo's impending eruption? They'd know the Mosasaurus is going to run out of food, but would they really release it into open waters where it could do monstrous amounts of damage? If not, it has to make it there itself. Now there's a number of ways it could do this, some realistic, some slightly less so, and the subreddit for Jurassic Park has been hard at work coming up with fan theories including the Mosasaurus pulling a Lex and managing to hack the system, triggering the gates and letting itself out. That sounds like science to me. Alternatively, perhaps the Mosasaurus escape is tied to that impending Mount Sibo eruption. Whilst I think it will occur prior to the actual eruption, there's sure to be a veritable smorgasbord, great word by the way, of seismic activity in the build-up, something we've already seen mentioned on the DPG website. And who's to say that such activity and resulting earthquakes won't damage the exhibit, allowing the Mosasaurus to escape? Similarly, were Jurassic World to suffer a tidal wave of some form, could the Mosasaurus then ride that wave out of the exhibit and off the island, perhaps sporting a pair of sunglasses as it does so? The actual answer may lie in that earlier referenced DPG website, which has been changed since. As you clicked on the underwater observatory, it mentioned how it had been crushed, allowing the Mosasaurus to swim to open waters. Now we actually got a glimpse of an underwater viewing area in Jurassic World, and as in Jurassic Park the game, there's a chance there's much more we didn't see. But even this official update has the same problem as pretty much every single other theory. How does it actually get to the open waters? The Mosasaurus lagoon is miles away from the coast, and even if the observatory itself was cracked, how exactly does that let the Mosasaurus escape? There's no easy transport method once it's out into the now flooded observatory, unless for some reason that observatory has a direct line to the coast, which is definitely not something we saw referenced in the film at least. There's two more likely options as I see it. The first is that the Mosasaurus is going to escape via a filtration system of pipes. Assumedly, water is being pumped continuously in and out of its exhibit from the open seas, keeping the water fresh and less poopy. If these systems started to rot and decay over time, particularly as the power to Jurassic World goes out and they stop working, then the Mosasaurus, realising its exhibit is dirtying and it's running out of food, would have to start exploring a way out, following the pipes that may once have been protected with dangerous fences or whirring fans, now castrated thanks to that lack of power. The Mosasaurus follows these pipes, bashing through filter after filter, injured, bleeding, hungry, until it finally bursts out into open waters, and Ian Malcolm can have his little Jurassic World speech. Lovely. There's also some interesting concept art for Jurassic World that never actually got used, but would be a viable option if it is indeed the cracking of the observatory that leads to the Mosasaurus escape. What it showed was a shark tunnel, as you would see in a modern aquarium, but just for the Mosasaurus. And if such a shark tunnel existed and did lead further down into the open waters, there's a chance that, as it falls apart and the Mosa seeks out escape, it could bash through those glass walls and ride the wave that occurs down through the tunnel where the humans would have once walked. Now, given that the current explanation on the Jurassic World website doesn't make sense for the design as we know it, this seems pretty likely to me. It'll require a little bit of a retcon in terms of design, or at least showing us something we've never seen before. But if you imagine that the Mosasaurus lagoon has a whole of a little section attached to it that goes under the ground a little bit and leads down towards the coast, where people can walk up to the lagoon via the shark tunnel before they enter that underwater viewing area we saw in the film, then it would all come together a little bit and would give the Mosasaurus a viable escape route. Regardless, how they deal with this mammoth apex predator now swimming the open waters is going to be very, very interesting, and it really is the creature that perfectly encapsulates Ian Malcolm's worry about the dinosaurs, and the other creatures, still being there afterwards. I'm excited to see this opening scene, which has been described as James Bond-esque. Maybe Owen will be in those same tunnels as they crack, and he'll have to avoid not only this torrent of water, but the surging Mosasaurus too. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. How does the Mosasaurus get out? Was that DPG update a mistake? Is it anything to do with a cracked observatory? Is there a whole other escape route I haven't even considered here? Let me know in the comments down below. We're going to find out in just under 2 months now. Very exciting. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye. Quick little shout out at the end. This video and all the others would not be possible without the support of you guys at home, and also all my Patreon supporters who are listed up on the page right now for April 2018. Thank you guys for all the help, and if you want to join in and help me out a little bit, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. Thanks for joining me.